everyone, we had to escape. We had to escape Olympia and just get out to the wild wilderness. So here we are, and I hope you're all doing well. It really does give perspective getting out. It's like amazing out here today. So thank you all for being so patient during this time of high psychosis and hell realms at the Capitol. It's like the further you get away, the better you feel. Now, what is this? We are at East Fork Tilton River. And coming down off of Mount Rainier. This is the southern part, and we really are getting close to the bottom. It's getting into some really nice little little towns, little sweet little farms. That's kind of odd. There's like this row of houses in the middle of nowhere. What was that from? Just hoping everyone is having a great day as well. It's always nice to kind of escape. Maybe some of you, maybe many of you live far, far away from government workers, and you're very blessed.
You're very lucky.
Very, very lucky. We did see two up here. We did see two up here that had some kind of geology shirts on, and I wonder if they went to the Evergreen State College. I wonder what they really know and what I'm paying them. Sorry I'm so cynical, you guys. It's difficult after all these years of being around it. But there are so many interesting little scenes tucked away in here. There are just little houses that look like they're from the 20s that haven't changed. It's just a lot of time machines in here. 60s time machines, 70s time machines. So it's been interesting just kind of going through all these different eras. Yeah, it really has been. It's been amazing. We're coming out of a town, although I didn't even see a post office. Did you, sweetheart?
No.
Called Mineral. And I driving braille again.
Sorry.
Sorry, you guys. And this might be sort of a more obscure way to come down off Mount Rainier. We're going to be coming into, is it Chehalis or Centralia?
I'm going to say Centralia.
Oh my goodness. I'm going to just die right here. Is this an actual mill? Is that an actual real mill? Oh my God. I didn't even know this was allowed. I thought everything had to be China. See, this is what they took out of Olympia. This is what Anna Shalek took out of Olympia. Made all those little parks with the pesticide grass. But wow, Anna Shalek, you haven't gotten to this part of the state yet. You and China haven't gotten there yet. So nice to see. I saw real men and real women up here, and they knew darn tootin' what they were and who they were. And I'm not saying this against anyone LGBT. I'm sorry. I sound so bad.
Look, there's another mill. Look,
There's a whole nother mill. Don't tell Anna Shellac. She'll come and take it down and put it on a ship and...
It smells
She'll give it to China. It smells so good. She'll give it all to China. It actually smells like wood. Are we coming into the town of Packwood? It smells like wood. No, Stamper. There's a name for you. I'm sorry, you guys. I'm being so bad. You know, in the 80s, everything went one way, and I really did have great sympathy and lost. Oh, there's the Loggers Jubilee. Holy cannoli, you guys, are we in Packwood? Oh my goodness me. Look at that, though. That could use a little fresh coat of paint, couldn't it?
It could.
That sure could. Oh boy. There's a logger trucker. We are we are not in Olympia, you guys. Oh my God, the Family Furniture Center. How could anything be called family? Shut it down. I'm sorry. It's the mountain air. It's getting late. Dun 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 dun, a giant lotto sign. Sad. Careful about buying those lotto tickets. Somebody had asked me about a friend of mine who I had mentioned had died at the hands of Satanists. And you know, it's strange, he was a journalist and he ran something called the Evergreen Free Press that did not have anything to do with the college. He had been the editor of the paper for the college, and he was an amazing newspaper man. In fact, he was Jewish, and he had a grandfather who had run the last Jewish newspaper in Berlin, and it was under a bridge. At the end, all he had was the printing press. He'd lost the offices and everything to Hitler. So, you know, he came from this newspaper family, although his father was an architect in Connecticut. And David was just one of these people, a true gadabout, ageless, timeless, you know, run around all over the place, kind of very sort of Mick Jagger-ish, if you were going to say what did he look like, just bouncy, dancy, and leprechaun-y. He always wore an ascot, was sort of, you know, a larger-than-life person who just knew everything about everything, just obscure things, you know, like that in sitcoms in the 70s, if you ever looked in a room, the clock was always at 2 or 2:30, you know, just so much.
55 miles per hour.
And I'm going 45. I better pick it up. Sorry, you guys. And so I've got my little one here in the back that helps out, you know. So, so David had the Evergreen Free Press at the college. That was actually called the Cooper Point Journal, and David ended up leaving it. He was doing articles about how bad the college was, and I think they got really mad. But his claim, you know, an early claim to fame was that he was the first person to publish the cartoons of Matt Groening of the Simpsons fun. And actually there is a timber company here called Simpsons Timber, and sometimes people speculate about that. And we actually had a bar in town called Ben Moore's, where there were always these two ladies. I don't know if they owned the bar or just worked there, and they chain smoked, and they always watched MacGyver day and night. And I was told by people who know Matt that yes, Ben Moore's in town was the original site of the smoking ladies in love with MacGyver. So yes, so David, that was just a wild, horrific, intense story. I'm going to pull over here because I just like to go a little slower on mountain roads. And some of these people live here, and I don't want to drive them insane. Unless they're state workers, of course. So, so David ended up getting his own. He ended up just saying, I'm going to get my own. I'm going to do my own newspaper. And he did, and boy, was it a hit. I mean, it was a hit. And he found a printer that printed the paper up in Mason County. I even met those people, so he had an amazing printer to do an incredible job. What is that guy doing up here? Holy cannolis. And he just had like this incredible paper going, and he never would use a computer. He did everything was hand layout, and he would draw these amazing little borders, and weirdly won an award. And one time even the CIA advertised in there. Can you believe it? The CIA actually sent in an ad, and he cashed the check. They sent the $35 for the ad. So it was just this wild, wonderful paper that, went from everything from strange little local things to kind of cosmic, bigger stories. So it was a really comprehensive paper, and people were subscribing to it as far as Amsterdam. And we've got a kiddo here, so I don't want to go into too much detail about like the whole what, but we really don't know. We really don't have a full grip on everything that did happen. There were 2 people who were caught and convicted, but it definitely went further and deeper than them. And so his name was David George. If anyone, it's hard to kind of do too much research about him, but he was doing a lot of stories about, guess what? And by the way, he was killed in 2004, about strange things going on here. In fact, the last paper that he was working on, and I had a short story going in it, we're having a good time with it, but he had a story. Actually, he had started it, so it was a series about. He was calling Mason Satan County and stuff. It was pretty intense, and he was not the one actually who came up with that name. It was Geraldo Rivera came up and just went, oh my God. And I have not seen that particular show, but that was what Geraldo had called Mason County. So that is very interesting. So we are now kind of just on our descent through this really beautiful country here, and it's just so much different out here. It's sometimes I think sometimes I feel like I'm too judgmental or not loving enough of humanity when I'm in Olympia, and I don't want to be like that. I don't want to have this kind of spirit of that. And coming out here, it's just very, 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 very different. And the people today have been wonderful. Every stop we've made has just been a true breath of fresh air and a real blessing. And we really appreciate these people, right? We really appreciate this.